Yeah.
You're right, that there's not enough education out there. In addition to that, if you look at retirement accounts and the way that most people save today is through a 401k through their employer. In those 401k plans, they utilize what are called target date funds. And target date funds are basically like a sliding scale of decreasing risk the closer you get to your retirement age. So if you log into your 401k and you see that it says, my mom's a nurse, so she works for HCA, and so hers says like HCA target date fund 2040 or whatever it says.
Mhm.
And so that the year 2040 indicates the year you plan to retire. But as you start to get closer to that date or that year, the risk in the portfolio or in the fund starts to decrease. And the way that they do that is they just shift a position from, an equity position over to the bond position. And it starts to change over time. And so at the end of the plan, you'll have more bonds than you do stocks. But that is such an old way of thinking, and it doesn't still address the retirement planning problem, the retirement income planning problem. It just further, laments the fact that you might only be educated on using the markets to grow your money, so therefore you're easy to then associate the markets with income too, and that's wrong. And so what we're actually starting to see, which is really interesting for our industry, is we're starting to see since 2020 there was model regulation that was input by the Trump administration, and it was called the Secure Act. And the Secure Act, I can't remember exactly what it stood for. It's setting every community up for retirement efficiency or something like that. I can't remember. But the Secure Act, there was model legislation in there that would allow these 401k administrators to now include income annuities in the plan. So rather than just having a target date fund that's shifting allocation between stocks and bonds, some of them now are starting to implement an annuity instead of the bond or in combination with the bond and the stocks. And why that's
Mhm.
important is now you're starting to build, if you do that and you're in that type of plan, you're able to build your own personal pension. And that's really the beauty of being able to retire with confidence is having pension like income. And that's what goes into that behavioral psychology because you have that ticket to spend the money that's in that pension like income stream through the annuity. And it allows you then to be disciplined to stay put in the markets for your growth assets.